Today, from the Caesars Superdome in New Orleans, it's week 2 of the NFL.
Two teams here fresh off week 1 victories. Who can keep it going as we're underway on EA Sports? And the opening kickoff will not be returned, as that will be a touchback. And here come the Saints for their opening drive. And here's a look at their leader, standing 6'4".
If you ask coaches at any level to design their ideal leader of a team, I think they're going to check every box with this guy. He's got the poise to handle responsibility. He stays calm under any kind of pressure, and he brings out the best of his teammates each and every week.
On first down, Hills. Throw out wide is incomplete. You talk about this Falcon defense. Currently #1 in the NFL against the run.
And that's a ranking that feels good, right? To be #1 and be the top of your profession. But here's the problem. It's only week 1.
1 week, yeah.
Can they do it 15 more times?
To the right side and intercepted. Picked up by Jesse Bates. And they'll start with great field position at the 41-yard line. Not something you see very often from a quarterback of his caliber, an opening drive interception.
Oh, there's no doubt in my mind that even he's surprised at how that one played out. But we know this guy is not going to stop him from continuing to fire as this game goes along. Probably give a little nod of respect across the field for that one and let him know he'll be back the very next series.
And nowhere to fit that football in. It's knocked away and incomplete.
That incompletion certainly slows things down a little bit and brings up a very important call for 2nd and long. What do? Run and try and get some yardage and make it 3rd and manageable? Or challenge the coverage again, hoping for a bigger gain?
They're able to push forward for about 4 down to the 37. First down marker at the 31. It's 3rd down. Again, it's Robinson. Has some strong running there as he's down just shy of the 20 on the edge of the red zone. It's a gain of 16, first down Falcons.
And that's a run that'll energize an offensive line. They'll take that one all day long. Fundamental breakdown by the defense. You've got to be able to make plays on the edge.
On 1st and 10, it's Robinson. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. 2nd and right at a yard. He was well over 100 yards last week. He told us this week, a little ambitious, that he wants to hit that 200 mark. We'll see.
Makes sense, though, doesn't it? Have we ever run into a running back that had a great game the week before that didn't think that's just going to naturally continue? Just make sure you feed me the football. And that's what they're all about. Continuity, rhythm, number of carries. Just keep giving it to him.
A play fake. Now Penix. Incomplete, but a penalty flag is down in the backfield. Let's get the call. Umpire threw the flag, usually always indicates holding, and that's what we've got.
And you know, depending on their positioning, where you are on the field, the umpire's got different responsibilities, but always making sure no one's holding.
Play fake, and they'll throw with Penix. This to Pitts, and he's got him. Touchdown, Atlanta. Kyle Pitts, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Falcons use the early turnover to get on the board first here in this one. Good start to the season for him. He had the touchdown last week in the opener and a 2nd one in week 2 now.
How about the pace he's already established, right? Not sure he can keep it up for an entire season, but don't burst the bubble because he thinks that he can.
Do guys go into a season with a goal for touchdown scored or yardage? What do you think?
I think every single one of the guys who's going to touch the football, they all have those types of goals. They all have those types of thoughts. Then they just have to see how the season unfolds if they can stay with it.
Unfolding so far so good for him. Following the touchdown, here's Koo to kick off. And no thought of bringing this one out. He'll go down to a knee, and they'll begin the drive at the 30. New Orleans Saints, they get ready to set up shop for their second drive. They threw an interception the first time they had the football, wound up leading to a touchdown the other way. How do you approach drive number 2?
Going back to your game plan coming in, everyone has matchups that they like better than others. Where they think they have an advantage, dial up some of those plays. Try and go to those spots and get your offense.
Oh, and his early struggles continue. Here's another one intercepted. It's DJ Turner who's got it.
Well, they're certainly not giving much help to their defense, are they? Because for the second time now, that D has had to run back out on the field early after an interception. And remember, on the last drive, the opposing side took it in for 6 after that interception.
They're coming out with a jumbo package to start the drive. Straight ahead, it's Robinson. Oh, now he's stripped. He lost the football. And this is picked up by the Saints. And they have the football and will take over at the 24-yard line.
Well, my friend, this has certainly been a comedy of errors here in the first quarter. Neither side able to really hang on to the ball.
Yeah, now I'm just curious to see which team can adjust because both have made their mistake. And now, as with every potential turnover, they're going to take a second look at this just to make sure. Out is their quarterback with this offense to take over once more. And he's been off target here early on. 2 drives, 2 interceptions. They'll look to snap that streak here as they start 1st and 10. So that one overturned. They say the knee was down, and that will not be ruled a fumble. They'll go play action here with Penix. That is caught inside the 5. Touchdown. 23 yards for the touchdown. And the Falcons are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. So this offensive unit, yeah, they were solid in the opening week victory, and now they are looking just as sharp here in week 2.
And that's exactly what you want, too, because you want to get better each and every week and really ramp up as the season goes on. I know it's still early in the season and a lot can happen, but this offense, they look like they're going to be fun to watch each and every time out.
Extra point by Koo, up and good. And it's now 14-0. Well, that drive started with not a whole lot of real estate in front of them in plus territory. Excellent field position. 2 plays later, pay dirt. Following the touchdown, here's Koo to kick off. And he'll wisely just take a knee here, and this ball will come out to the 30-yard line. Out onto the field comes New Orleans. And for this offense, Charles, you got to think kind of crucial here to put something together on this drive because remember last time out they threw the interception on the very first play.
And you can't afford to let this defense keep building any more momentum. They're playing awfully well, and they're awfully confident right now. To me, it's time to attack and take some of that momentum back, but make sure you're selective in doing so. Understand where you want to throw the football and make sure it's open before the ball leaves your hands.
Troy Anderson, the man on the tackle. You talk about this Falcon defense. They put together a strong effort last week in the win over the Bears, CD.
And the big difference in the game, their ability to force turnovers. Multiple, in fact. Being able to take the ball away, give it back to their offense, the big difference in the game.
It was impressive. Now the question, can they duplicate it? So 8 yards on the completion there. And now 1 yard to go on 3rd down. They'll try and pick it up with Mitchell. And he's taken down at the 43, but not before picking up the first. He'll get 9 out of that one, and as a result, the drive continues. Well, you're down early. How do you get back in the game? Maybe a establish the run. I think they're trying to do that.
I'm with you on that one, and what I like about the message is that there's no panic from the head coach. He's already told his offense coordinator, let's run the football, let's get things settled down a little bit and find our way back into this game.
On first down, they go back to Mitchell. And he's over midfield and into Falcon territory. The numbers last week for Mitchell. 17 carries, 67 yards, and a touchdown.
Just an all-right day from him last week. He really didn't break out for the huge yardage he had hoped going in. I talked with him before the game, though, and he knows this is a new, fresh opportunity. He's put last week behind him, and his focus, getting some extra yardage with every carry he receives this week.
And he'll get it down to the 47 here. 2 yards on the pickup, and that's all they needed to move the sticks.
Exactly what they needed right there, because they needed to use the ground game to take some pressure off, because the quarterback's been struggling a little bit.
Now they'll switch it up here and look to throw. Throwing the out route incomplete. It's Collins. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8, 2nd and 2. Off the play fake. Hills. They'll get this to his tight end. That's Pat Fryermuth. And he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30. And a quick throw here. That's complete. They'll give him 4 yards there, and that'll bring up 2nd down. 14-0 the score. This is the NFL on EA Sports. 2nd down and 6 now. Again, he'll drop to throw. Drops this underneath. It's Mitchell. So the completion good for 6 yards. And that will bring up 3rd and 1.
And they'll use him out in the backfield, and sometimes quite a bit. They're just trying to get him touches any way they can. 4 catches a week ago. There's another one right there.
He's going to get this one out to his fullback. They'll wind up losing 3 here on the play. And it'll be 4th down. Out now is the field goal unit for New Orleans. It'll be from the right hash, and it'll be... Oh, they get to the football. It's blocked. Now it's scooped up, and this is a live football. Gotta say, Charles, a little surprising to have a kick this short blocked. Usually that happens on the longer ones, but great job by the special teams to kind of sift through there and get a hand on it.
Yeah, you've seen a lot of football over time, partner, and you're right about it. Typically, the longer field goals start lower because they have so much more ground to cover to get to the post. And that's when you get a hand on it. These short ones, you're able to pop it up in the air pretty quickly. Normally, you get height. In this case, extra effort to block that one.
2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8. They'll run again here with Robinson. 42 yards now on the ground on just 7 carries. The Falcons at 1-0 on the year following the win in Week 1. And this would be quite a start for them if they could win 2 straight on the road.
Yeah, the schedule makers didn't do them any favors. They gave them 2 road games right out of the gate. But the thinking on the team has to be, imagine if we win these 2 games. What a setup for the rest of the season for us.
It's a gain of 11, and the Falcons pick up the first.
Well, if they continue to run the football this strong, right up the middle, I don't know if they can wait till halftime to make adjustments. They better find a way to get it done series to series. I don't know if they need to sub some guys out, bring in extra people, maybe change what they're doing on the defensive side of the ball. But right now, they're running the ball very well right at them and right up the middle.
A 14-yard gain there as they look to improve this 14-point lead.
I'm not sure how much more evidence they need, partner, than to understand that if they don't start to slow him down, it's going to be a long afternoon here at the stadium because he is just shredding them at this point. And let's face it, coming into the game, they knew he would be the focal point of their attack. This is going to take an 11-man unit on the defensive side to start making plays.
A first carry for Tyler Algier. And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves him with 2 to go on 2nd down. They'll send a receiver in motion to the right. Throwing on second down, Penix. This to Pitts, and he's got him. Touchdown, Atlanta. Kyle Pitts, 2 catches, 2 touchdowns here so far. And the Falcons take a 3-touchdown lead. CD, that's his 2nd touchdown already. And how about this offense? 3 drives, 3 touchdowns.
An absolute total team effort right now. And let's face it, I don't think he's done. We're still in the first half. There's a lot of time left to go. I don't know what they're going to do on the other side trying to slow him down. But right now, he's feeling it.
Koo able to connect on the extra point, and that makes the score 21-0. So the drive there took 6 plays. And it was the tight end Kyle Pitts finishing it all off on the touchdown reception. Following the touchdown, here's Koo to kick off. And the returner down to a knee, and this will come out to the 30-yard line. And now the Saints get set to trot out there. Early on, you know, Charles, every game could be called a measuring stick game, but I think when it comes within your division like this, it's a measuring stick game with a little extra intrigue.
I would agree with that totally, because all division games have a little extra to them. But I like where this game is situated, because at this stage of the season, it has that little extra juice, but at the same time, it's not a make or break if this were, let's say, week 15, 16, somewhere in that neighborhood.
It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets them to 2nd and 4.
Well, I think after that run, the defense getting back in the huddle and looking at each other and maybe starting to question their confidence a bit. They gave up a significant run, 6 yards, and now you're saying to yourself, how do we stop them, and do I have enough confidence to make a play?
That's to the right sideline, and it falls incomplete.
But there's an incompletion, partner, and the struggles through the air continue, because so far their lack of passing production has led to a lack of points.
From the gun on 3rd down, Hills able to find the open man. That's complete. And he is going to have a Saints first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. They run over center with Mitchell. And this will leave them a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on 1st down. 2 minutes remaining in this first half of football. Ball on the 40 now. Here's 2nd down and 1. Looking to throw. Hills looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Mitchell. And this time not quite to the 30. It'll be down at the 31-yard line. That one a 1st down pickup of 8. Back to throw. Hills over the middle, hauled in by Lamb. And he's got this down almost to the 20 before he's dropped. The Saints passing game in sync and moving the football. It's a 1st down. Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. Over the middle, he gets it to Collins. And they'll get this down to the 10. 11 more yards that go around, a 1st down as well. And now we won't see a play on 1st down. We're going to get a timeout instead, as the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this first half. So not quite a 1st and goal. It's 1st and 10 from the 10. They'll look to throw again. To the end zone, but it's incomplete.
They're putting together a drive here in the final minutes of the half, but the coverage has been tight all game long, and they certainly want to keep them off the scoreboard here.
Got his man complete over the middle. It's Collins. Now we'll get a quick timeout called by New Orleans, number 2, as they get the stoppage with just under 50 seconds remaining in half number 1. They'll come up now 3rd and 3. Back to throw again. And that is incomplete.
Sometimes it's just not your day. There's another failure right there on third down.
Out now is the field goal unit for New Orleans. He had his lone attempt blocked earlier. And his kick here is good. And the deficit drops now from 21 down to 18. So a long drive gets him down inside the 5, but ultimately they settle for just the field goal.
And I have to think that if maybe they were a yard closer, that would have made their decision tougher, and I think they likely would have gone for it. But in this situation, they just decided to take the 3, and I think it was a smart move.
Bijan Robinson leading the offense out for another drive. And he's well on his way to a 100-yard game. He's already more than halfway there. We're only in the second quarter.
And what I've always loved about running backs is they'll tell you, I had no idea how many yards I had.
Right.
Those guys have an innate sense of where they are in a ball game and how many yards they've accumulated, because you know they're always working towards 100.
He's been working well towards 100 here. So following the incompletion, here's 2nd and 10 from the 25. Now Penix. This ball tipped, and it's going to be incomplete. Fortunate maybe to get that back. It's 3rd down.
Well, they approached this drive with a lot of confidence after their last one ended up as a touchdown. But incompletions on their first 2 throws has them huddling up and trying to figure out a big play here on 3rd down to get their momentum going again.
They'll send a receiver in motion to the left. Penix on 3rd down. He's got a man, complete. Down the right sideline. And he's going to be out of bounds here all the way down inside the 10. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
Oh, my goodness. I'll tell you what, 3rd down, all you're thinking is, what can we do to keep this drive going to get enough yardage to move the sticks? You're certainly not thinking about taking this one almost the length of the field. But that's exactly what happens here. What a play, and what a change of fortunes.
And we'll see Younghoe Koo now for the Falcons. From the right hash, and this one just a chippy. Koo knocks this one through the post. And the lead up to 3 touchdowns now. It's 24-3. So everything else has gone right in this first half. Kind of follows that it would for their kicker, too, as he adds 3 more onto the lead.
Yeah, and the way that this one's gone, definitely not looking like he's going to have to worry too much about pressure kicks late in the game. He can go out there free and easy, just work on his form, and he knocked that one through.
And the Saints going to go on offense one final time in this first half. And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
Now the Saints will use their 3rd and final timeout as they stop it with 16 seconds to go in half number 1. Looking to throw on 2nd down. Hills. Over the middle, complete. It's Mitchell. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. So we have reached halftime now with a visiting... Sorry, Coach, put a pin in that. We are going to move right on into the 3rd quarter here. The Falcons back to receive. They've got the lead, and they'll get this football as the second half gets underway. So here are the Falcons to take over on offense. They were winners a week ago over the Bears, and they lead things here as well as they start this drive with a 1st and 10. Second half begins with a run by Robinson. And up to the 35 before they're able to knock him down. 77 yards for him on the ground now as he has been terrific here this afternoon.
Most of their damage has been done through the air. I mean, they've rung the bell 3 times with passing touchdowns, but guess what? Ground game has not been neglected. Nice little burst right there.
Back to Robinson now on first down. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain.
On any explosive run, you can almost feel the ground shaking, and that's from the offensive lineman creating space for their runners. I had an old coach tell me before, they always told his runners, run around the offensive line in pregame. Get used to the ground shaking so you don't trip and fall when it happens in a game.
Still a few inches short of a first down as they come up now on second down. Now the first carry for Bush. That one a first down pickup of 8.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they're playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time, and making it work.
On first down, they stick with Bush. And a 5-yard gain gets him to the 42. From the 42-yard line, here's 2nd and 5. They'll keep it in the hands of Bush. And he's dropped just before the line to gain. 4-yard pickup leaves him with 3rd and 1.
I don't care what the emphasis is in the NFL at any given time. Every defense is still going to say their #1 goal every game is stop the run. And right now, they're not doing that. And that really chips away at your confidence.
Algier will try to pick it up. And he gets it to the 34. Good enough for the first. Give him the 3rd down conversion. 5 yards on the play.
Everyone understood their role on that play. 3rd and 1. You know the defensive guys, they're trying to get down and get low and get leverage on the offensive lineman, but they didn't allow that to happen. They created a crease and allowed him to get through for a first down.
Here's Penix on 1st and 10. Eluding the pressure right. Throwing right, and that's complete. It'll go down as a gain of 6, and it'll be 2nd down. He was out there waving his arms, and when you got a quarterback out of the pocket looking for any help, I guess waving the arms is helpful.
It certainly is, because you got to get his attention, because now you're in scramble drill. So everyone's adjusting their routes, finding open space, and he found the right spot for the completion.
Here's Penix. And that is caught. Touchdown, Falcons. A great play there. His first touchdown of the new season as his guys are able to push that lead out a bit further. I tell you what, Charles, I know that you don't put a ton of stock into power rankings and things of that nature, but another score here, and 2 weeks into the season, this is maybe the most impressive team in the NFL. Would you agree?
Well, they've certainly sold me as they've sold you, and I agree with you. No question about it. They won easily last week. They're on their way to another lopsided victory here. They're definitely a team to be reckoned with, and they are serving notice to the rest of the league.
Extra point by Koo, up and good. And that'll increase their lead to 28. Following the touchdown, here's Koo to kick off. And no thought of bringing this one out. He'll go down to a knee, and they'll begin the drive at the 30. Now the attention turns to the Saints offense getting ready for their first possession of the second half.
Come on. Hey,
Throwing to start the drive. Hills. Quick hitter here. It's complete. And this will be a gain of 5 as he gets it to the 30. Ball on the 30. They'll come up with a 2nd and 5. Up the middle, here's Mitchell. And tough going there as he'll only get it up to about the 31. 5 yards on first down, but now just a 1-yard pickup there on 2nd. This now a 3rd and 4. Looking to throw. Hills. And he'll be touched down here, but not before he does pick up the first. It's a 9-yard gain, and it'll keep the drive moving. Work to do here to avoid falling to 1-1, but this is 1st and 10 right now. Finding room at midfield. And finally taken down at the 34. That'll wind up a gain of 27 on the catch and run.
Now what we're seeing, this is much better from this offense because so far in this game, no touchdown to this point, and what's usually a direct correlation? Very few explosive plays. That's been their issue, not able to make that big shot downfield and break one off, but a nice game there for a first down.
Glad to be in the great city of New Orleans, rolling along here in the 3rd quarter, 2nd and 10. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. Officially nothing on that one, no gain, so they're left with still 10 to go on 3rd down. Back to throw. Hills. And he's going to be intercepted for the 3rd time thus far. It's DJ Turner who's got it. And the Falcons are going to take over at their own 28-yard line.
Partner, I see you reaching for the white flag. Put it down. I don't want you throwing it, but I understand why. Because if you do, you're hoping they might actually stop this game because we're in blowout territory right now. That interception just surrendered any momentum they built up in the locker room during halftime. So, game plan, it's in the garbage. Time to try something new in this one.
And that to the 30. It'll be 2nd down. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down. And as they come to the line, they will not be able to get off another play as time has run out on this 3rd quarter. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. On 2nd, here's Algier. And he'll be brought down shy of the 40 at the 38-yard line. 7 yards there and a 1st down. Hate to be blunt, but it is just continuing to prove to be the case that this O-line is manhandling this D-line right now.
They deserve to roll up their sleeves and show up their biceps because they're doing exactly what you just described. Manhandling the defensive front. They've got the leverage. They are powering through, and they're controlling this game.
And even 100 yards rushing for him now as he has been tremendous all day long. Now, I think we can get used to seeing more of that in this 4th quarter, especially if they're having success on the ground like they did there.
Yeah, I think back when we met with the head coach in preseason, and all he talked about was building a bully. And I think it was this situation he was envisioning. Trying to ice a game, plenty of time left, but being able to give the ball to his big runner and pound away and try and finish off a game.
It carries like that. That's how they're going to continue to salt this thing away here, Charles, in the 4th quarter.
Yeah, how about that? A new set of downs. Clock continues to move. No better way to close out a game than to tap those mastodons you have up front. Say, guys, keep pounding them. Let's keep the ball, keep their offense on the sidelines, and let's close this one out.
A gain of 3, 2nd down.
This drive is pretty clear. Almost feels like old school fundamentals, doesn't it? Want to impose their will on the defense. What's that, 5 straight runs?
Yeah, 5 straight carries to start this drive. And like you said, the way it's working, they may just stick with it. And this time not quite to the 30. It'll be down at the 31-yard line. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a 1st down.
Well, that's a carry they have to be satisfied with. And throughout this game, they've been satisfied with what he's given them. Whenever they've needed a big run, a 1st down, he's the guy they've turned to. And it doesn't matter what the defense thinks. They've got the confidence to keep handing it to him and keep picking up good yardage.
Now this one to his running back out of the backfield. And he's going to get this down near the 20-yard line. It's a gain of 11, and the Falcons pick up the 1st. Now, this offense really looking polished these first couple of weeks. Here's 1st and 10. They'll throw with Penix. And this is caught for a Falcon touchdown from 21 yards away. And the Falcons are on their way to a 2-0 start. When coaches come into a game preaching total team effort, CD, I think this is the type of ball game that they're dreaming of. It was pretty apparent early on that they were clicking in all 3 phases. It's been fun to watch.
Yeah, sometimes in the NFL you end up with matchups like we've been watching here. And you go back to the early drives, You could just see that one squad was on a different level in this game. Safe to say, we have been disappointed in watching their execution throughout this contest.
Following the touchdown, here's Koo to kick off. And he'll wisely just take a knee here. This ball will come out to the 30-yard line. The New Orleans offense set to take over. We said it at halftime that they would need a nearly perfect second half to erase that deficit that they were facing, CD. But unfortunately, the second half has pretty much been a carbon copy of the first.
Yeah, that early lead was almost insurmountable the way their opponent was playing. And, partner, they do have some good news, though. This one is getting close to being over, and they can try and hit the reset button starting tomorrow.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Operating from the gun, Hills. And this one quickly to Lamb.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route, and then breaks it off usually after about 3 to 4 steps and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and get the quarterback a really nice target.
Well, that'll get them to 1st down as they get 9 yards out of that quick slant. They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. He's got it to Collins, complete. They'll cross over out of bounds right at the 25. The Saints passing game in sync and moving the football. It's a 1st down. Looking to throw. Hills. And that one to the right side and incomplete.
They lead big, and a major part of that has been how they've taken their play to a whole new level this second half. No points allowed since the break, and you can add another incompletion to the total number that they forced in this runaway contest.
And 2nd and 10, he'll look to throw again. And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete. And he gets it inside the 10 to the 9. That one goes for 16 yards. It sets him up 1st and goal. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So it's Saints football as we get you reset. They've got it 1st and goal as they look to punch in a late score. Back to throw. Hills. And that is caught. Well, they're going to see this one to the end. They get a score, but pretty much an exercise in futility right now. Still down big. That's why you've got your star out there. Throw the ball to him. They did.
That's simply saying we don't care what coverage you put out there. He's so good. We're going there with the football anyway, and there's not a thing you can do about it.
Inside the red zone, they go to him. He gets it down. Extra point right down the middle. And that'll cut the lead down a bit to 28. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. The Falcons back out, getting set for this next drive. Now they are really in the driver's seat here, enjoying this lead late in the 4th quarter. The defense does have all 3 timeouts, but at this point, doesn't look like it's going to matter much. They start on the ground with Robinson here. He'll be dropped after a gain of about 6 across the 30 to the 31.
That's it. That's what you want. Straight ahead positive gain. Just keep that clock ticking.
They'll come up now 2nd and 4 from the 31. Robinson with another carry. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 139 yards for him on the ground now on 18 carries. No doubt those are the types of carries they're looking for here, Charles. The lead in the 4th quarter. This is when coaches that have a reliable running game, they breathe a little easier on the sideline.
Yeah, they love the idea that they can take the air out of the football at this point of the game. That means they're really counting on that offensive line, counting on the runners, taking care of the football.
because you're going to tell your quarterback, hey, no time to be a hero. We're not going to throw it here. Just eat up that clock. And if you have the ball, they can't score.
And he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. That's good for 21 yards and a first down.
Brendan, every great running backs coach I've talked with has always talked about when you have great vision, you're not consciously thinking about your cuts and your moves. You're just doing them. And I think that's what we're seeing tonight. He's about to run them into submission, hasn't he?
You took the words right out of my mouth. I was just going to use that phrase. He has run them into submission.
Wave the white flag.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. That one looks like he'll throw here. Steps away. And he'll toss this one incomplete. Seeing no options, he throws it away.
Well, their passing attack, even though that one was incomplete, has been really sharp in this one. It's resulted in a lot of touchdowns, and it looks like they're not going to stop throwing the football until the very end of this one.
Well, that will certainly make everyone involved on offense pretty happy because that gives them all a chance to pad their stats a bit. But as far as the actual need...
Oh, this is taken in. It's complete. And they are going to score again. Yet another touchdown as they just add to their totals. Looking like they're well on their way to a 2-0 start. All smiles right now on that sideline, isn't it?
As well there should be. It's hard to win a game in the NFL. We hear it all the time. We know that it's difficult. But guess who's smiling? But inside is thinking 24-hour rule because we're going to have to play again next week.
Boss man.
Oh, without a doubt. The head coach, he wants them to feel good, but at the same time, find a way to keep improving.
Coup for the extra point.
Now, this one was over a while ago as they just add on to their big lead. That time, 75-yard drive, 5 plays.
And it was the tight end Kyle Pitts finishing it all off on the touchdown reception. Following the touchdown, here's Coup to kick off. And the returner down to a knee, and this will come out to the 30-yard line.
The Saints coming out now to take the field.
CD, it's all window dressing at this point. I mean, the best they can do is in the game with a nice drive to maybe build some momentum to move forward into their next contest.
Yeah, with how lopsided this game has been, even one score might not do a lot of cosmetic good on the scoreboard, partner, because it's just about looking forward at this point. Get a touchdown here, give yourself some positive momentum and reps to focus on when you get back to practice in the next couple of days.
Following the incomplete pass, here they go again. 2nd and 10 from the 25. Looking to throw. Hills. And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Picked off by Troy Anderson. And he'll return it to the 24-yard line.
Now they've got the huge lead. Now they have another interception on the defensive side. Seems like everything they touch in this one, Charles, turns to gold.
And they have to be awfully happy right there to get what appears to be one more for the road and help seal away one of their best efforts of the season.
Robinson up the middle. What a great effort there. He's going to get this inside the 15, and they'll spot it at the 13-yard line. Nice run.
Now the Falcons going to use one of their timeouts. And as the two teams talk it over on their respective sidelines, we take a break.
From the 13 now, they work on 1st and 10. A give left side to Robinson.
It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
I know that every now and then we get in those meetings with coaches, and you almost want to roll your eyes when they talk about staying on schedule when they're moving the football. But would you say a 7-yard run is ahead of schedule?
4th quarter with a lead, you love that, don't you?
No doubt about it, because staying on schedule is trying to get 4 downs on 1st down. They did that +3.
And he'll be brought down here at the 3-yard line. It's a 3-yard pickup, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
One thing I do know that offensive linemen like, they like a guy who's carrying the ball that will take what is blocked. Not try and create a big play and maybe take a loss, not try and go where the blocking isn't. But if it's just all that's there and you just put your head and your shoulders down and get that, you get the respect of the big guys up front.
Oh, now look at this. They're lining up to add 3 more, little insult to injury here late in the game. This a chip shot, a 20-yarder. And the 12-year veteran knocks it right through, and that will extend their lead even further.
Well, ultimately not really sure that they're going to need those 3 points, but they'll take the 3 and they pad that lead.
Yeah, this one's already wrapped up, but you and I both know if you're an offensive coordinator, you never let up on the gas unless the head coach tells you to do so. And maybe you've actually clicked him off in your headset so you keep calling plays and trying to add to this lead.
And the tackle going to be made right there at the 25-yard line.
One final shot. They'll look to throw. And this is dropped and incomplete. Well, there's a metaphor for how this one is gone. As time has run out on this ball game.
Well, this was a blowout supported by both sides of the ball today, Charles. It would be easy to look at the offense and say, man, they were clicking, and they were, but don't forget about the effort by this defense as well.
Yeah, they weren't going to let up just because the lead was safe. They wanted to play as big a part in this game as their offense did in making this blowout. They needed to be noticed as well, and they played accordingly.
So for Atlanta, it's a dream start. 2 wins in 2 early road games. And they'll get another road test next week as they head to Buffalo to take on the Bills. Meanwhile, for New Orleans, they'll fall to 1-1. And they'll get a chance to redeem themselves at home next week.